everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and today we're just going to be making a quick birthday card. I have my big shot out because I'm going to start with doing a couple of die cuts, and I'm going to be using my Heart to Heart die set. This is the one that has the two clouds and also has a little sun shape. So I'm going to cut out the two clouds using a piece of felt, and I'm going to use my platform with all the tabs down, my one acrylic plate, a piece of felt from Paper Tray ink, and then my two little cloud shapes. And I'm also going to be using the little adapter that you can get from Paper Tray ink for making things a little easier to cut if you have something that's a little more intricate, especially with the felt. It does have a tendency to not completely cut all the way through. I'm also going to cut the sun shape, and I'm just using a piece of white cardstock for that. So just run that through. I trimmed down a piece of white cardstock. This measures 4 by 5 1/4, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the base of my card, which is a standard A2 size card. And then I have a piece of pattern paper that I measured 1/4 of an inch smaller than that, so that's 3 3/4 by 5. And this pattern paper comes from this authentic paper pad called Delightful. It's got lots of pretty soft colors in it. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. I'm trying out a new adhesive today. I had a lot of people say they like this, so I thought I would give it a try. It's called the Craft Collection by Tombow. It's a stamp runner, and there's two different kinds. There's a dot adhesive, and there's also a solid runner. So I'm going to give this a try. I'll let you know what I think of it after I've used it a couple of times. So I'm just going to go ahead and add just a little bit of adhesive. I'm not going around the outside because I am going to use my sewing machine on the edges of my pattern paper here. So I did just some sew lines, just in different spots. I didn't go completely around. I did one at the bottom on the side, and what I did was I pulled my thread through, and then what you could do is knot it, and when you pull your thread, all you have to do is take the back piece and just start to pull it, and a little loop will come through, and then that will pull your thread through from the front. Now you can go ahead and knot these. What I like to do is, I found this little tape dispenser at Staples, and it's great for a roll of washi tape. And I like to just go ahead and tape those down and then trim the ends. So now that I have my thread all pulled through, my washi tape on there, I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card base, which is a piece of Sweet Blush cardstock, which is from Paper Tray ink. And I'm going to go ahead and center that right on the front of my card. So that's my card base, and now what I'm going to do is start working with my cutout. Now this is actually a luggage tag that I cut out from on my Silhouette Cameo, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. I also cut out the little circle that goes around it, so I will put some adhesive on the back of that. And now what I'm going to do is start putting my shapes together. I have the little suns cut out, and I'm going to use some Lemon Tart Paper Tray ink. I have my Martha Stewart stamp press, and then I have the Heart to Heart number 6 stamp set. And I'm going to stamp out the sun. Now I've never used this stamp before, so I probably should test stamp it before I do it onto my die cut. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to now go ahead and ink this up for real. So I have my cute little smiley face, and then that's going to get adhered right to my tag, just like that. And then behind that, I'm going to add one of my larger clouds, and then my smaller ones. But I want to decorate these clouds up a little bit, so what I'm going to do is actually add some buttons to it, and I have some crochet thread on a needle here, and I'm going to go ahead and just feed that through. So it should come from the back to the front. Okay, so I have my buttons sewn onto my pieces of felt, and I did two bigger size buttons here, and then I still have my smaller one, and then I still have another really tiny button that I'm going to use on where my sentiment is going to go. So I went ahead and decided that I didn't really totally like the yellow for the sunshine, so I flipped it over and stamped it out in the Sweet Blush, which is the same color that I'm using for my cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere my clouds down, and I'm just going to use some glue dots for that. And then I will use a piece of dimensional adhesive to pop up the sun so that it's laying even on the felt. So I'm just going to put a piece of dimensional adhesive on the side. That'll get adhered right like that. I pulled out some pink and brown baker's twine, and I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, but I think what I'm going to do is make a bow using both these colors together. And I'm going to use that right on the top of my tag. So I'm just going to go ahead and feed those two colors through. So this is going to actually go right on the front of my card, and I have the Heart to Heart number 5 stamp set, and I'm going to use the It's Your Special Day, and on the inside I'm going to put Celebrate. And I took another piece of that pattern paper from the same paper pad, and I cut that down to a 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to use some Jenny Bolin brown sugar ink. So It's Your Special Day, and then I'm going to just create a little flag end here. And that's going to come right off the side. I'm going to go ahead now and tie a little bow onto my pink, my one last small pink button here. So it'll be a very small bow. And I think to make it easier to tie it down, I'm going to go ahead and add a glue dot and adhere it in place first. And then I can go ahead and tie my bow. And the last thing I want to do is just go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of my tag that I created. And that'll get adhered right to the front of my card. And then on the inside, I'll go ahead and stamp my sentiment, which is the Celebrate. And that's my card for today. Thanks for watching another episode, and I will see you next time.